This is the moment we've been waiting for. The present day. Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight? Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight! Now isn't this what it's all about, folks?
Y'all better get ready, because I don't know or have an opening comment, do I? Katie, is for you, baby. Just for you. Angel's back, Katiri's not, and Samaya's done for the year.
Well, this is just breaking. Funny enough, Kim just had her press conference and Angel is back, Samaya is out, and Poole appears to still be in the doghouse. Yes, so here we go. This is so SEC. This is right up there with Alabama and Florida and Georgia. You know the deal. You suspend the player against, when they have the game against Southeast Alabama. And then once you play the real games, what do you know? That suspended players learn their lesson just in time for the upcoming game versus Auburn. Now, Mulkey dropped breadcrumbs yesterday in her interview on ESPN Radio, and the keynote was that the decision had been made weeks ago because she knew she might take heat or not heat. She doesn't care, but people would ask, "Is Angel only back because Samaya Smith is out?" And she was like, in that interview, I think she made a considered effort to say the decision on Angel had been made weeks ago. So they'll have their ongoing, and much like I said in the last video, it was always going to be you media are making a big deal out of this. It is nothing. This is a family issue. We deal with issues all the time. We've moved on. It's you that can't move on. What I wasn't expecting was her saying how attacked poor Kim Mulkey was. That was really good. When you guys attack me and it's all for clickbait and I want your salary, where Kim Mulkey's the highest paid person in that room. There's no doubt. She's making more than any of those reporters in that room. What did she get this year? 2 million or something, which is fine. I don't care. She was always going to play when you attack me personally, how dare you? I'm protecting my players and making my players better. But she did a classic Belichick or we'll do that. We're moving on. We're moving on. It's a locker room issue. It's already been addressed and dealt with, and on to Cincinnati. On to Cincinnati. I've got no doubt that's what it's going to be. Um, it'll be a big celebration. Angel back tomorrow night. She'll word up the commentators for the game because she'll have a meet and greet with them, and she'll folksy them and say about how you discipline your kids and that's what we're doing, and we've got Angel engaged and she's ready to go, and they'll have their little meeting with Angel, and Angel will say how happy she is and she's moving on and everything's going to be forward, and then Angel will be in the press conference tomorrow night saying she's been coached up and knows exactly what to do. She's played this very smartly. She hasn't crossed Kim in public, and she's just kept a low profile with cryptic tweets. And she will come out tomorrow with we just want to move forward and have the best team available, and will not continue. She'll continue to go the line that she will not cross Kim publicly. What I am curious about is what happens after this season. Will she go pro? And when she does go pro, will she call out Mulkey at that time? Will she go Brittany Griner? If you've seen my video on Mulkey and Griner, that is where it went bad, because once Griner went from Baylor to the WNBA, she did a interview with Katie Fagan where she called out Mulkey and said, she wasn't allowed to be herself at Baylor and took a lot of shots. And from that point on, basically Griner was dead to Kim Mulkey. Even when she was detained in Russia, she would have minimal comments on it, just saying, I wish her the best. I think she did that, but at other times she wouldn't have any comments on it. And that's just a long simmering feud, as those two will never break bread, in my opinion, which is fine. I'm just curious to see when we get the truth of Angel Reese and when she comes out. Will she play the company line of, yep, we had our differences, Kim and I, and that's fine? Or will she, once she's out of LSU, will she go after Mulkey? That's when we'll really see the truth about things. And it'll probably a large part be tied up to how LSU goes this season. Now, the other big news in the press conference is Samaya Smith is out. Um, Devastating for her. I thought it was an ACL, the way she was holding her knee. And then when she got up, she sort of stumbled. It looked like the knee was unstable. Mulkey talked in the press conference when she was talking to her on the ground. Samaya knew that, that it felt like the previous ACL she did. So she actually did ACL, medial meniscus, and the MCL. They think surgery might be in a few weeks just to allow probably swelling to go down and the MCL to heal up a bit. That will I guess the other side note of this is now it'll be Reese and Anissa Morrow, and then as well they're going to need Del Rosario to sort of step up and be that backup big. She talked about her, was happy about how she played when they were in the Grand Cayman. She had good minutes, and I think she got 7 points. I can't remember. I'm not looking at the box score, but that will be the big thing for them moving forward. Can she be that big and backup big to fill the spot for Samaya Smith? And she should, because big body. They just had so much depth that they were better prepared to lose a player more than anybody else. The remaining issue is with Katari Poole. What is the story with her? Is she going to come back or not? The whole thing is just very bizarre because she was initially on the bench, just not getting minutes, and has she gotten fed up with that and now, or did she say something and now she has to serve her different suspension? I don't know. And we'll never know unless Reese or Poole speak on the subject, and it's definitely not on their interest to do that right now while they're still at LSU. Maybe you'll get the story in a year's time or something like that. But this really sets up for a good matchup tomorrow. I'm happy she's back. It'll set up a good matchup for Virginia Tech. I'm looking forward to watching HVL. Mulkey said as well, HVL was going to play, and that sets up a good matchup, HVL and Amor. I've done a video on that, just comparing their games if you want to take a look at it, because I think that's an interesting matchup, because in a lot of ways they're vying to see who's going to get that spot in the WNBA. I'm curious who's going to be drafted ahead if they both go pro next year. I think Amor better shooter, but HVL finishes better at the rim. In a nutshell, that's essentially what the video was. But sort of looking at both of their careers and how they intertie, and Alexis Morris did a hell of a job last year on Amor. So curious to see if that is the difference this year or how it plays out. Anyway, give me your comments. I know, poison, whatever you want to give. It's sort of a predictable finish to this. I think a lot of us said it'd probably play out this way, that she'd be back, especially because Angel never crossed her in public. But yeah, your comments, thoughts, everything else. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope to see you next time. Good night.